our 21 President, Dr. and Mrs. Robert Esquito, to our Asia Pacific Regional President, President Masay Chuhuri, and to all our Reverend Dr. Junius Malik Dem, our Vice Presidents, and also Reverend Roni Sodusta, our National Leader, of our FFWP Philippines, Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, and all our Cheonbo families. Welcome to our 40th meeting of our Cheonbo families. So to begin, I would like to invite one of our Cheonbo families, our Honorable Pedro Belbar from Mindanao, to lead us in the opening prayer. Pedro, please lead us on the opening prayer.
Wala po siya, Padre.
Andito siya
Kapasok lang po. Kakapasok lang po. Please unmute po.
I'd like to invite our Cheonbo Honorable Pedro Belbar to lead us in the opening prayer. Kuya Pete.
So let us pray. All our brothers and sisters, our Cheonbo Bopals, let's just pray. Sarang sinon, Champo Munim, Samida, Sarahamida. Other most loving Heavenly Parent, other God, the Almighty, the Creator of heaven and earth and humankind, and to our victorious loving two parents of heaven and earth and humankind. We're so grateful once again today. We have this weekly gathering of our precious Cheonbo victors, as well as the aspirants, and to all our precious brothers and sisters with us tonight. Truly, from the bottom of our hearts, we would like to express our deepest gratitude for having such a great moment and a privilege to attend this weekly meeting, wherein we truly believe that truly you are always blessed this meeting, wherein we could be able to receive the precious guidance from our heavenly parents and true parents, to our leaders and to our Cheonbo victors, as well as to our aspirants for their messages that they rendered upon us in every meeting that we have, heavenly parents. We pray that you continue to bless each and every one of us again as we prepare ourselves to receive this message today. And we'd like to offer to you, Father, heavenly parents, all this blessing that each and every one of us, again, Father, will continue to do our part, our responsibility for this providential meeting, wherein through heavenly parents, we could continue to reach the leadership of our daughter. and which truly heavenly parents could part our responsibility to really, Father, substantialize your dreams, your cherished hope for building the heavenly parents holy community throughout the world. And we hope and pray that can be able to really fulfill the tasks in our respective areas, our responsibility to contribute for this fulfillment, heavenly parents. We'd like to really support our true parents, our true mother in this crusade when truly, Father, our hearts and mind is always belong for this purpose. We would like to offer to you everything, heavenly parents, truly from the bottom of our hearts. The precious name of most beloved sisters, the Cheonbo couples with humility and full of grace.
Aju. Thank you so much, our Cheonbo Honorable Pedro Bilbar, for the opening prayer. So thank you. And once again, I would like to welcome everyone to our 40th weekly meeting. Today, January 17th, 2022. So first, let us offer our sincere gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and our true parents for this opportunity that we can come together again as one big family, especially in the presence of our honorable, our Dr. and Mrs. Roberto Tito, our 21 president, and our regional president, President Masay Chuhuri, our Dr. Julius Malikdem, and Ron Sulusta, our vice presidents, and our national leader, Reverend Dr. Leong Ilohalog, with all our Cheonbo families and Cheonbo challengers and victors, blessed families, brothers and sisters. So let us greet each other by saying your heaven's blessing, your heaven's treasure. And once again, Happy New Year to everyone. So let's greet each other, greet your husband, your wife, or your brothers and sisters who are with you. So thank you so much. So with that, then we would like to invite our very own Dr. and Mrs. Roberto Esquito to give us again the inspiration, even though they're not with us physically in the Philippines, but with their presence always gives us inspiration. So let's welcome our Dr. and Mrs. Roberto Esquito. So as I can see, Tita is with us this evening. So let's welcome her with our virtual clap.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jaime Vergara. I want to excuse my husband today because he had night meetings. And I want to greet Dr. President Hori and Dr. Julius and Dr. Leo Angelo Halog and all other leaders and brothers and sisters. And reaffirm that really you are treasures of heaven. And I'm so grateful for your hard work, for supporting our true mother. And also I'm grateful to my husband who is working very hard and preparing for celebrating True God's Day and True Parents' birthday and Foundation Day. And actually, my husband is preparing to leave already for Korea this coming Thursday to be in quarantine and then to attend True Mother and attend the events in Korea. So I just wish everybody a great meeting today and that we can move forward with really becoming Cheonbo victors and restoring the whole nation of the Philippines with no one being left behind. Thank you so much for your leadership and for your hard work. God bless you.
Thank you so much to our Tita Tercia for being with us. In behalf of our Dr. Kito, yeah, I think now he's very busy, and also all our leaders now are preparing also to go to Korea. So thank you. So let's welcome again. Let's give our appreciation to Tita Felicia for joining with us this evening. So with that, we would like also to invite our Vice President of Asia Pacific too, Reverend Dr. Julius Malikdem, to give us also the opening remarks. Let's welcome Sir Julius Malikdem.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kuya Jimmy. And once again, good evening. My greetings to President Hori for joining us in this meeting this evening. Also, Mrs. Kittle, thank you so much. It's now very early morning there in Chicago, so thank you for joining. And all our leaders, Reverend Adelaide, Reverend Ronnie, all our Cheonbo families, thank you for joining us. So we missed each other last Monday. We did not have our regular meeting, but because that time we have the Asia Pacific leaders meeting together with President Hori. So we prepared for that. However, I think this time we received so much blessing. At the same time also, there are some indemnity that happened. As you all know, we, True Mother, just conducted the second prayer rally for the salvation of the homeland, and it was very successful rally. I'm sure many of you already have read the speech of True Mother, and I just would like to emphasize one part there where True Mother, even though it's a gathering not only of members, but it is an interfaith gathering. It's a prayer rally, but Mother just spoke as there's no gap, no, like she is speaking to her children. And then in that speech, Mother said, like, you are now living in the golden age, blessed by heaven, which can only come once in your lives, as well as in history. So that's what Mother said. And then I think very important part that Mother spoke during that prayer rally when she said, therefore you need to work hard so that the record of honor will read. And then Mother said, the record of honor will read, you have fulfilled your responsibility. And then Mother continued by saying, the blessings and grace of heaven are overflowing in your families, your nations, and the world. You are true children of the Heavenly Parent who made this possible. Please know the moment when this is recorded will be an unforgettable moment of eternal blessing for all of you. So as you can see, this is part of the speech of True Mother, and there is no more barriers, whether she is speaking to blessed families, to members, or speaking to religious leaders or other people. There's no more distinction. And this is actually what the Heavenly Parents' holy community should be, wherein we see each other just brothers and sisters under one Heavenly Parent. And that is actually exemplified by that speech, very beautiful speech of True Mother during the prayer rally. And also this time, if you still remember last year, not last year, 2020, there was a big series of typhoons in the Philippines. And then before the end of that year, 2020, there was also a big, like a hurricane in Fiji. And these are all part of Heavenly Asia Pacific Region 2. And then also before the end of this last year, 2021, we were devastated by Typhoon Odette in the Philippines. And then now, just few days ago, a big volcanic eruption in Tonga, which is also part of Asia Pacific. In fact, Tonga is one of the places where in the first morning, the first morning in the world is experienced. The first New Year in the world is experienced. It's in these islands in Tonga. And so this kind of indemnity, again, took place at the start of this new year. And we all know how important that as central figures, as Cheonbo families, we need to think providentially how all of this indemnity that is being paid by this region can really support and can be claimed by us, and then this can be used to advance the providence. We know what happened after the typhoons in the Philippines. Then we can have the Rally of Hope in the Philippines, the only nation that can conduct this Rally of Hope after the series of rallies of hope all over the world. And then we initiate in our region to conduct also our regional level Rally of Hope. And then after that, so many blessings came with the regional youth forums. Even though we finished it already, now we are in the process of, again, negotiating with the government, with the National Security Council, to partner with different projects. So this indemnity or crisis are opening the way for more blessings and more opportunities. So that's why we always have to think providentially. Right after this volcanic eruption, and then many brothers and sisters, many people again will suffer in this area, in this region, but I'm sure blessings will be coming. And just to also, maybe some of you could not join, or we appreciate last Anshil service, the sacrifice of President Hori staying outside, very cold, in the park near in Shibuya, and then giving to us a very important message last Anshil, and we really appreciate that. And very important point that President Hori mentioned is that the two things that are very important. And then he said someday, even after all the providential work or the providence of restoration is completed, two things will remain. And what is that? President Hori mentioned, these are tradition and education. In fact, also True Father mentioned about this. These are the two things that we will leave behind to our descendants when we die. Tradition and education. So that's why I really appreciate that President Hori emphasized once again the importance of passing on this heavenly tradition from generation to generation. If we lose this heavenly tradition, President Hori said, then we lose everything. We lose our identity. So that's why, and then President Hori emphasized the Anshiil tradition is like representative of all the traditions that we have inherited, because it's this Anshiil service is like the tradition of attendance. And then President Hori emphasized the time that this tradition is not only like weekly tradition, like the usual Christian tradition of Sunday service, right? And then this should be some kind of a daily religious tradition, daily religious tradition. And then he emphasized that something that is very close to you, you always want to be together, live together, right? So that's why this attitude of attendance is not only like weekly basis, but it should be 24 hours, it should be daily basis, because this something that is close to you, for example, heavenly parent, true parents, then this tradition should be 24 hours, like a daily basis religious life. So that's why also True Father emphasized about this, that in order to inherit, because we're talking about inheritance of tradition, first is we need to participate, and then we gain the right to inherit. And then we gain the right, after we inherit, we gain the right for equal position. And then next is living together, common abode, right? So that's why this is the process of transmitting this tradition. And I think President Hori used the term safe settlement, taking root. And this is actually very important for all Cheonbo families, how this tradition can take root in our family. So that's why I really appreciate. And then also, of course, education. Why we need education continuously? Because we have to reclaim that culture or that position without trace of the fall, right? So President Hori is talking about the era without trace of the fall. So that's why education is still very, very important. And then finally, I think President Hori again mentioned about this Cheonbo mentality, that there are only two classification of members. And what are those two classifications? Cheonbo family victors, those who already became Cheonbo family victors, and Cheonbo challengers. So that means all members are Cheonbo. So we need to have that kind of concept, that kind of mentality, that all of us are Cheonbo. Of course, others are still challenging, and all others already became Cheonbo victors. But we are all Cheonbo family. So that should be our mindset, and that should be our mentality. So again, let's listen very well to the testimonies of victory of our Cheonbo families today, and let's learn from each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our Reverend Dr. Julius Malikden for that very precious opening remarks as we begin our meeting. That's really helped us again to remind us of what that happened, transcribed during the past days, and also especially from our President Masaichi Puri. Thank you so much. So let's give our virtual clap to our Reverend Dr. Julius Malikden. So now to continue with our meeting, first we would like to present to you the short video on the report, of the weekly report of our HTM Cheonbo victors and Cheonbo challengers, as they have been doing in their respective area of responsibility in their tribe and also in their region. So let's watch this first before we are going to hear the testimonies and best practices of our Cheonbo families. Thank you so much. So with that, thank you so much again for the hard works of our Cheonbo families from what they have made again from their tribe as they follow up and educate continuously with the 43 and also with the education of the 430 couples. So let's give our virtual clap to all our brothers and sisters who are really doing their best to properly guide our HTM families. So with this, at this point, we would like to call on the first couple, Cheonbo couple, to give their best practices and testimonies on the accomplishment of the 430 couples. First, I would like to call our Cheonbo Honorable John Robert and Catherine Gregorio. They are our NCR, Regional Director of our FFWPU, and also guiding our HTM in Metro Manila. So let's welcome our Cheonbo couple of our Honorable John and Catherine Gregorio for their best practices and testimony. So let's welcome them with our virtual clap.
Good evening, Heavenly Parents, to parents. Good evening, President Hori, Dr. Kittel, Mrs. Kittel. So we prepare our testimony from our heart. So please share the video at the Rose. Good evening, Heavenly Parents, to our two parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Good evening to our John A1, Dr. Kittel, Mrs. Kittel, to our regional president, President Masaichi Hori. Good evening, sir. To our vice president, Dr. Julius, Sir Ronnie Sodusta, and to our national leader, Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, and to our HTM director, Dr. Jaime Vergara and Tita Shirley Vergara, to all of our leaders, Cheonbo families, blessed families, brothers and sisters, good evening to you all. I'm John Rodbert Gregorio, and my wife is Catherine Gregorio. We are the regional pastor of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification in the National Capital Region. Today, we will present to you our testimony on how we accomplish our responsibility becoming the heavenly treasure. The contents of our testimony is centering on our family history, mission history, Cheonbo journey, best practices, and our personal reflection. I will read these words from our true mother. Today, it is not only our own family that is to be saved. Our blessed families have the responsibility for the salvation and liberation, or even their ancestors. Only then can there be hope for the future. Our family history.
My husband, John Robert Gregorio, was born December 16, 1989, from Pulilan, Bulacan, born from Mr. Roberto Paje Gregorio and Mrs. Rodora Santos Gregorio. We received your parents' blessing February 17, 2013.
My wife, Catherine Gregorio, born on February 6, 1987, from San Jose City, Nueva Ecija, born from Bonifacio Prado and Mrs. Marilu Romero Flores. We received through parents' blessing on February 17, 2013, after the Foundation Day. So from the photos, you can see our family. This is our able tribe. Actually, honestly speaking, it is much more difficult, no, 1,000 times difficult to witness to the able tribe. But we try our best to step by step educate our able tribe to understand the heart of Heavenly Parent and for them to take responsibility to receive the blessing and to live a life centering on becoming blessed central families. Our mission history.
My husband, John, joined the church on April 6, 2006, under the scholarship program of the World Car Philippines. He was assigned to become Santa Mesa Center members and take his college studies in Eulogio Amang Rodriguez Institute of Science and Technology, taking up a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Psychology. From 2007 to 2012, he became student full-time and joined many MFT supporting CAR Providence in Manila. In 2008, he was appointed as CAR Iris Center leader and CAR president in Manila at the same time. John led many university CAR activities that contributed in building True Parents Foundation in Manila. In 2015, John was assigned as CARP Alumni Center leader in Mandaluyong City, and from 2015 to 2018, he served as member of the Board of Directors of CARP in the Philippines. In 2019, John was transferred from CARP Mission to HTM Mission, becoming cluster leader of Bulacan, Mandaluyong City, Pasig City, and Makati City, leading series of interfaith peace blessing in the cluster. Then finally, in November 2, 2020, he was appointed as the regional leader and pastor of the FFWPU National Capital Region.
My wife Kathy joined the church on April 19, 2005. She became student full-time member at Santa Mesa Center from 2005 to 2009. After her graduation in college, Kathy went to America to join the International Missionary Department to support the National Providence. In 2010, Kathy transferred to ILTP America. During that time, she became MFT captain, assisting young brothers and sisters. Kathy returned to the Philippines and was assigned to many missions and responsibilities in the National Witnessing Team, National Fundraising Team, and eventually as CARP Secretary General. In 2015, Kathy was called to support BFD as Secretary and focus on second-gen follow-up. She received the Holy Blessing on February 17, 2013, and married to John Gregorio, to me, with two adorable children, Tehan and Sejong. So these are the photos of my wife mission in America as well as in the Philippines as part of the national MFT. So our Cheonbo journey. So I will read this significance of Cheonbo. Whatever our personal opinion, our lives have been a calling from heaven. This is the path that others dare not to go through, a course that is misunderstood and persecuted, a path of absolute faith that goes beyond logic, and a mission that transcends limits. The life of blessed families is different from majority of typical families on earth. On behalf of all mankind, blessed families have the responsibility to go through the course at the top of the completion stage, being the central figures of this era, attending True Parents, and becoming heavenly tribal messiah representing their ancestors and tribe. Through the guidance and blessing of True Parents, blessed families have been the pillars for the construction and settlement of Cheonbo. Whether we want it or not, whether the world is aware of it or not, we are people called upon by Heavenly Parent. If we didn't receive any calling from heaven, we would have just enjoyed our normal, joyful lives as ordinary believers. However, just like Abraham, Heavenly Parents called upon us and blessed us with hope to multiply, prosper like the countless stars in the sky. So as the life of blessed families, no, we really endure so much. And all of these sacrifices, all of these hard works that we have gone through is really offering to God and through parents. All of the inspirations that we receive is because we have the model already that together living us on this earth, no, seeing the physical features of God, of our heavenly parents, our true parents really paved the way for all of the blessed central families to become Cheonbo. And becoming Cheonbo is not just for selected people. Becoming Cheonbo is really for all people to really follow the path, of blessed, becoming blessed central families, and eventually fulfilling the responsibility of becoming heavenly treasure.
Many of our ancestors fought so we could have the opportunities we have today. Let us appreciate them for the sacrifices they made for us.
So one of our strategy in our tribe is to have the ancestors first policy. So during the time that we are starting our journey to become Cheonbo, every time that we receive some money, some gratitude, we always prioritize the liberation and blessing of our ancestors. And actually, this our journey of becoming Cheonbo and fulfilling our vertical HTM is not an easy path. But because of the help of many elders that we really owe to them so much, we will not mention the names of those elders, but our gratitude to them is really overflowing love. And we sincerely thank them for supporting us. They know that both of us are a full-time church worker, and we don't have the capacity to really uh, accomplish the vertical of our tribe. But because of the heart of all of our elders really supporting us, we eventually accomplish everything. And because of my wife is really a good manager. No, she is the finance officer of our family. Really, we accomplish our journey, and we really bless our 430 couples, our ancestors, no, in the spirit world. So we are very thankful for this opportunity that heavenly parents and true parents given us this authority to bless our ancestors.
Loving your homeland is just as natural as loving your father or mother. After all, your country nourishes you, protects you, and in many ways makes you who you are. Just as it's a virtue to honor your parents, it's a good and admirable thing to honor the land you call home.
So one of our main point during our journey to Cheonbo is returning to original homeland. So we would like to advise to the upcoming Cheonbo, no, those who are applying for Cheonbo, that really return to your homeland, to your provinces, and to really fulfill your Cheonbo journey, because uh, restoring your homeland is really paying respect to all of the ancestors, no, who really sacrifice so much uh, for you to be able to become Cheonbo candidate. That's why when we are given opportunity to do HTM, no, uh, we are assigned in Metro Manila, but also we have given responsibility to do our HTM in Bulacan, no, leading our cluster as HTM in the province of Bulacan. And we are very grateful that our HTM director, Tita Shirley, given us this opportunity. And through this, we help many HTM candidate to fulfill their Cheonbo. And because of that, we believe that Heavenly Parents allow us to really fulfill our 430 couples by helping other Cheonbo as well to become victorious Heavenly Tribal Messiah.
Revelation 7:9, the great multitude in white robes. After this I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. They were wearing white robes and were holding palm branches in their hands.
So Cheonbo helping Cheonbo. This is another one of our strategies. When we started doing our Cheonbo journey, we did not do it alone. No, we cannot do it alone. Everybody should have a counterpart, no, doing their Cheonbo journey. So Cheonbo helping Cheonbo is really our way of fulfilling our heaven's responsibility. Uh, we have accomplished many HTM tribe in Bulacan, and because of that, we bring a substantial result in terms of the interfaith peace blessing, no, in our province. But also we are setting up the internal foundation of this blessing that we have. Throughout our journey from 2019 to 2021, we do the blessing from many areas in Bulacan. Even in times of pandemic, we have interfaith peace blessing, a small scale blessing. And because of that, we believe that we are protected by heaven. Even single staff from our team never caught COVID-19. So that's why we believe that this blessing really a blessing to other people, no? Understanding the heart of heaven. And we are very and proud to say that we help and we fulfill the HTM tribes of many Japanese partners and local partners as well. So that's why we are returning everything to heaven, no? That heavenly parents and true parents are really guiding us and supporting us to fulfill our journey to become Cheonbo.
Raising up 43 couples, education, relationship, life testimonies.
So our raising up 43 couples, we center this on education, giving lectures to all of our HTM coordinators. And number two is building relationship, no? Especially not just to your couple, but also to the existing Kane government in your area, no? And also life testimonies. Every time that we have the activity, we share our life, what we do in the front line. That's why all of our HTM coordinators, they know our life story. They know what we have gone through becoming members of the unification movement, and they are very inspired. They want to duplicate, they want to replicate what we have done as becoming Blessed Central Family. As you can see in the photos, we also include our children, no, during our HTM activities. My son is here, no, even though it's very late at night, we travel to do house-to-house follow-up for our tribe, and also giving 3-day ceremony lecture to our HTM. And through that, our family really feels so blessed. And we really feel the heart of Heavenly Parents, how Heavenly Parents guided us to really become victorious on this HTM mission.
Gregorio HTM strategies. One, ancestors first, to returning to original homeland. Three, Cheonbo helping Cheonbo for education, relationship, life testimonies.
So these are the strategies that we have in our HTM activities. No, very few, but centering on this strategy that we have, we can guarantee that we can really fulfill the internal aspect of becoming Cheonbo, as well as the external aspect of becoming Heavenly Tribal Messiah, educating the families to becoming blessed central families, and center their life centering on God and Heavenly Parents and true parents. So on October 10, 2021, with the grace of heaven, no, with the grace and with the guidance from our direct central figure, no, our national leader, that really push us to really fulfill this journey, together with Ate Dulce, no, really guiding us and helping us, and to all of our elders that really support us. Our Ate Paps really push us and give us some strategy to fulfill our Cheonbo journey. And we are very grateful to Heavenly Parents and true parents for really understanding our heart, how we could serve in the front line, and how we could really bring our people closer to our heavenly parents and our true parents.
If we realize the principle and if we genuinely understand Heavenly Parents' wish, then we will automatically live a life different from before.
So with this, we really need to understand the genuine heart of our heavenly parents, no? And we need to live our life from different from before. As Cheonbo family, no, we are given responsibility to support all of our blessed gentle families who needs to become Cheonbo. No, becoming Cheonbo is not the final stage of our attendance, but becoming Cheonbo, this is the starting point wherein we understand the real heart of heaven, and wherein we are connected with a direct dominion from heavenly parents and true parents. That's why me and my wife really dedicate our time and effort to support all of our blessed central families in our region, to really guide them and support them, no, how they could really become Chonbo and how they could understand the responsibility that given to us by heaven. So with this, my reflection personally, that when we do our HTM activities in our hometown, really the external environment also preparing itself. We do the internal aspect of mobilizing people, and then heaven really do the external aspect. Honestly speaking, in Bulacan, we are expecting to have the new international airport in our province. And I believe that when True Mother come to the Philippines, visit our country, she will no more land in Manila, but she will land in the new international airport in Bulacan. So that's why we are preparing the province of Bulacan to become Chon Bulacan, no? And we are praying to heaven that this victory will spread out throughout the nation, and we could really bring Chonolguk to our nation, Philippines, to support the unification of our fatherland.
Yes, and my reflection, the greatest secret is loving your family, loving your son, loving your daughter, and it will multiply into our tribe, to our nation, and to the world. And the greatest is also going to the front line, going to the field.
And with that, let us bring the greatest victory for this year towards the Vision 2027. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you so much to our Honorable Chunbo families of our Kuya Jan Robert and Catherine Gregorio. So we're looking forward for a Chunbo Bulacan, with the foundation that you have made. Truly, they're really doing a very great job, helping our blessed families in accomplishing their Chunbo mission as well. So you have shown presented to us your secret and your strategy on how you have accomplished your HTM. Truly, we are very grateful for that. So again, the Chunbo families, let us give our appreciation and virtual clap to the couple, Chunbo families of Honorable John Robert and Catherine Gregorio. Thank you so much. Next, we're going also to listen to one of our Chunbo families, Chunbo victors from our Fidja family. So they're also working very hard, especially our Honorable Brian Benjamin, as he is also in charge of guiding our HTM in the secretariat for our HTM in field job. So now they're staying in Japan, but their HTM is also in the Philippines. So now we are going to listen to their testimony and then their best practices. So let's welcome our Chunbo families, for our Honorable Brian Benjamin and Naomi Dirihi. So let's welcome them with our virtual clap.
Hello, can you hear us? Okay.
Yes.
Greetings to Heavenly Parent and true parents, to our also good evening to Cheonbo Chairman Dr. Robert and Mrs. Kittel. Al- yeah, although Chairman Dr. Kittel is not here. Hello, Mrs. Kittel. And also to Reverend Masao Ichihori, good evening. To Dr. Julius Malikdem, to Reverend Ronnie Sadusta, to Reverend Kuya Leo Halog, and to Kuya Jimmy and Ate Shirley Vergara, to our fellow Cheonbo couple families, to all leaders, brothers and sisters, good evening. So we would like to share with you how we encountered and experienced God in our Cheonbo journey. And with respect to time, we prepared a video, and I hope, yeah, it works well. Thank you very much for lending us your ears. I first came to know True Parents way back 1988, a year earlier than my wife. I started in CARP as a student and was a home member. My wife started as a full-time, became a missionary, and we both received the blessing among the 30,000 couples. We were inducted as Cheonbo couple in October 2020. We have two children, now a 22-year-old gentleman and a 15-year-old young lady. We sent them both to Sanjong High School in Seoul. Well, it was emotionally difficult for us to allow them to be away from home at a very young age of 12, but we stick to the hope that they can discover and encounter God by themselves, to become spiritually independent and become close to the fatherland. Our eldest son is now a graduate and now studying at Kyunghee University, while our daughter is still in Korea. Actually started a lot of whys and a lot of hows. Although we don't deserve it, we believe that there were a lot of factors that have paved us to become Cheonbo couple, and we remain grateful. It is because I think putting Heavenly Parent first matters, recognizing that He is the reason of every motivation. It is a grace that we have received from the true parents and have to embrace it with a repentful heart. Also, we think it is a merit from our absolute good ancestors. We think it is a reward for the missionary works and public services as volunteer leaders in field job. As they say, the reward of hard works is more hard works. And that absolute tithing was a heavenly rule that have protected us. And also sending our children to Korea was a privilege to go to Cheonpyeong and every time we visit them. And never to forget that there were many John the Baptists prepared by heaven as we go along the path of this journey. And that, strong determination gave us a turning point to pursue doing the impossible. This is our physical family. In common, our fathers passed away at a young age. Our mothers have already received the blessing. My mom just passed away last year, and my mother-in-law is still very young and very supportive. Yeah, I have four siblings, while my wife is the only child. One of my siblings already received the blessing. This is our spiritual family. We have 8 spiritual children combined. 4 already received the single blessing from the two parents. One of them already an accomplisher and a candidate for Cheonbo. And from our HTM tribe, there are counted 8 core couples. My wife was one among the 10 missionaries sent to Madagascar in 1994, but my wife came back to Japan to start family in the year 1998. The Japanese missionaries' pioneering devotion brought fruits to the series of tribal blessings. However, the breakthrough in 1997 had brought national persecution to the nation. At that time, Naomi and I were in the Philippines for the 3.6 million couple mobilization, where we also sponsored 160 couples. I came to Japan for a special mission in our church computer company called Wacom after receiving the blessing until 1998. And meanwhile, in 1999, other Japanese missionaries in Madagascar were deported and banned in entering the country except my wife. So our couple's life of faith was tested in this very difficult situation, and heaven allowed us to enter Madagascar and did missionary work underground. Well, in 2000, I have to quit my job. My wife called for another mission in Madagascar, and this time with our son. After 9 years, I have to quit my job again, and this time bring our daughter with us. Every time we go to Madagascar, we experience and encounter God. Every time we go, we have nothing. But when we come back home, I find a better job, just like a repeated course, and this happened 3 times. Our reflection, as mentioned in the Bible, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything shall be added unto you. That is putting Heavenly Father first. Such an experience had taught us a lot that unconsciously brought us to experience the same when we had a challenge to apply for Cheonbo. And later we realized, yes, indeed, it is a reaffirmation that God is working this way. Just like everyone, we are caught up in situation where we have the time, but we just don't have enough money and resources, or the other way around. This is reality. In May of 2019, I quit my job and decided to go to the Philippines. Well, I know that at the age of 52, I have lesser chances of landing a better job. It took some time to make decisions. We prayed, we offered some conditions, we heard a lot of testimonies from accomplishers until we came across True Mother's words in one of her Hondo case. Through True Parents' victorious achievements, True Parents already have achieved 99.9% of that great dream, God's dream. All that you who are unstained must do is fulfill the 0.1% of the responsibility. True Parents' grand design is like a puzzle. You are the ones who have the last piece which will complete the puzzle. Therefore, the day must quickly come when you can say and offer to Heavenly Parent. Yes, my brothers and sisters, the first step is always the hardest. In reality, 0.1% still seems to be impossible, right? It requires an absolute faith. That is why faith is believing even without saying it. Our vertical HTM, we started the journey 20 years ago. Since we reside in Japan, we follow the Korean and the Japanese rate, which is a big hurdle. 23 sessions means in every year for 12 years, 1 or 2 times travel to Cheonbo. Our children are in Korea, so we did not miss any chances every time we visit them for school events. I am able to complete my 210 generations of ancestors blessing in 2013 as per True Parents direction. And that year, members were encouraged to go to the grassroots and do tribal messiahship. But at that time, while others have been doing mobilization, opportunities just didn't work for Naomi and I. We applied and tried to start, but it just didn't work. We know at the time that we did not have enough condition. It took 4 years for us to finally come to an opportunity to truly engage ourselves, and it was in August of 2017. We signed up the resolution forms and determined ourselves. Actually, there were many from this group who later became Cheonbo couples. And at the time, our couple was appointed regional leader for field job for a short period of time. It was during this time that the former leader, Roy Karumba, really encouraged us to do HTM. He was in the Philippines in November of 2018. He shared with us the amazing harvest that brothers and sisters are experiencing out there. And he introduced us to work with an HTM where we develop relationship, trust develop, and we had this desire growing to go to the Philippines to experience the actual mobilization. Here, My wife has to catch up in a very short time. We knew exactly how much more we need to prepare and when should it be done so that we can be on time. And I think visualizing it and making a substantial plan was the key. I'm really grateful and I really appreciate my wife for being so diligent in doing this one. And to do that, I have to work overtime as well. My wife has to find part-time jobs. And you know what? While finding ways, we realize that the more we are so desperate about it, the more we are dragged into finding means at last minute. We believe that the devotion and the motivation behind producing the money really gives a value to it. And actually, it's not the money that matters, though. I think it's the Johnson that is attached to it. Naomi and I are very grateful that although we are not getting much income, we are really protected because it is a basic rule in our family not to miss a month of our 10% tithes. So we welcome our 430 generation of ancestors in the beginning of 2020, and I'm sure they feel joy when we get them engaged. Now that we have completed ancestors' liberation, we came to a point of determining ourselves and just do again the 0.1% for the remaining horizontal HTM. That is just to fly to the Philippines to find out that everything was prepared for us by heaven. And we came back to Japan. No work, nothing, and it was really financially challenging. And this was the biggest hit in our life. We are very grateful I got a job after a month though. The turning point came where we truly encountered Heavenly Parent. The holy wine that we received last February 2020 in Korea was our turning point to completely unite with True Mother. That was the moment we promised our candidacy for Cheonbo. There were many unnoticed guidance and signs from the spirit world. We only came to realize them at the right timing. Naomi actually dreamt of True Father in 2018, and also Michelle, the national leader of Madagascar, whom she has a deep artistic relationship, just received the blessing in 2018 after a long years of waiting. Well, Naomi realized that her desperate longing for Michelle to receive the blessing and to become a Cheonbo was the same of True Mother's desire. Truly, True Mother wants us all to become Cheonbo. Indeed, Michelle became Cheonbo. Also in 2019, Naomi's mother received a spiritual blessing and a 3-day ceremony, which was followed by us overcoming many challenges at the time. There was also a big role of fraternity at the local Hachioji church. They were all engaged, helping each other to become Cheonbo, and eventually 4 of them became Cheonbo. Well, brothers and sisters, turning point may not be the same for everyone, but surely there is. All you need to do is notice it and in advance or at that moment. Our assigned area happened to be my physical mother's birthplace, and since I was born from the Cordillera region in Luzon, going to Mindanao to meet relatives I haven't met is a dream come true. We met many John the Baptists in our HTM journey. Ate Grace and Kuya Edward Mayo, who were the regional leaders at the time, Ate Percy Yapas and her husband, who are our HTM coordinators, my first cousin, whom I haven't met for 46 years. Coincidentally, we met in Baguio just a day before flying to Mindanao, and my physical brother, who voluntarily came along with us to support. Without them, we could have not made it possible. Our first engagement was in November 2018, where Naomi and I are still in Japan, and Roy Karumba was there to initiate it first on our behalf. We truly would like to recognize him for his great support. Massimo and Annalisa Tamayo were in the earlier picture, received the first batch blessing of our tribe, and they were one among the first ones to finish 3 day ceremony and became assistants in these blessing events. I remember in one of our blessing events, only few couples showed up, and sitting in gray uniforms in the picture are the barangay leaders. Well, they did not realize that they have to bring couples with them. So the school happens to have an ongoing monthly faculty meeting, and then Ate Percy talked to the school principal. So instead, we had the chance to introduce to all the teachers our intentions. So, well, this was not planned. However, this has given us more doors to do more with the wider connection that we have now. Amazing, isn't it? And to make the story short, here's the result of our 7 days straight mobilization where we were able to bless more than, I think, 300 couples. And the remaining smaller groups of blessings were done months after we came back to Japan. So while being in Japan, we stay connected and we extend prayer conditions and financial support to the activities and mobilizations. Ate Percy and Tatay are very diligent and very sacrificial until now, organizing the various activities. And mostly they do house to house visit and follow up just like every HTM partners are doing. However, due to the pandemic, it became very limited and still remain a very challenging now. The Memorandum of Understanding was a key in making most of the activities possible in cooperation with the local government, DSWD, and this has been the key driving factor to invite the tribe to join in the Rally of Hopes and virtual events with True Mother. My mother's hometown is a few hours away from our HTM area, so our cousin, our John the Baptist, whom I mentioned earlier, paved a way for us to insert a schedule to meet my relatives, which is our Abel tribe. I came from two huge, big family clans, and in contrast, my wife is the only daughter and have fewer relatives. And in 2011 and 2013, I already had created this Facebook group pages, one for my mother's side and the other one for my father's side. And at that time, there was no concept really of doing the HTM, but only during this pandemic that I got the chance to fully utilize it. Well, it serves the purpose to invite our relatives to virtual events like, the Peace Rally, the Rally of Hope, and think tanks. And now I realize I was guided to create such a great witnessing platform. And it is interesting to find out that there are many John the Baptists actually in here. From now, we would like to really focus on the education of our 43 core couples. And at the moment, we can only support remotely by extending financial support to execute local plans. But when given the opportunity in these pandemic times, we would like to go back to the Philippines and visit the tribe and start connecting to our Abel tribe in the social network as well. In the long term, we would really want to sustain the growth of our tribe and expand through collaboration among other tribe partners within the Caraga region maybe, and to definitely apply Professor Hill's lecture on the Cheonbo Learning School on a coaching strategy. Well, to make it all happen, we humbly would like to continue learning best practices and continue supporting PhilJob achieve the 100% Cheonbo all goal towards 2027. I was so inspired to have created the blog last November 21, although this was originally intended for PhilJob. I found out that this is becoming useful as reference for many challengers. We started the Cheonbo All campaign in PhilJob, launching this blog. So let us multiply and encourage more to become Cheonbo challengers. If your reality is bigger than your faith, reality will swallow every inch of your life of faith. But when your faith is bigger than your reality, your faith will dictate the trajectory of your reality. This is actually the state of going back to the concept of 0 point that true Father mentioned, where it means denying of oneself. Only then can faith becomes bigger than reality. Lastly, True Mother said, your responsibilities do not end here. However, Cheonbo families are the Cheonbo flowers that will never wither or change. Brothers and sisters, if we are faced with difficult situations sometimes, we only see one side of this story. The tendency is to do nothing and ignore the challenges and remain in our comfort zone. We easily jump into conclusion that it is impossible to find a solution. But when we try to see the whole picture with the lens of being positive, centered on God, the way we see things will surely change. 감사합니다. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you, and all glory back to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Maraming salamat po.
Wow. That's a very beautiful story of Cheonbo Pass, of our Cheonbo Honorable Brian Benjamin and Naomi Grihi. So let's give them our virtual clap. Thank you so much for the great,
Yeah,
great
Bri,
beautiful
best.
story.
Best.
Really very inspiring to hear and to have that kind of story. Just like we are watching a movie. It's really, it's inspiring us. Thank you so much. Wow, amazing. Wow, we can really see how the ups and downs, the victory of our these families. So at this point, we would like to hear our
and Naomi, Brother Brian and Naomi, really very inspiring testimony also that really helps us to really determine ourselves on how to really become Cheonbo families. So I am truly praying and hoping that next year or one day very, very soon, I can also fulfill that dream of our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, that all of us blessed families and truly become Cheonbo families. So really, every time I listen to the testimonies of all the other Cheonbo victors, I really gain like knowledge and strength on how to really go on forward in the midst of all the like difficulties and sacrifices in life. I truly believe that God is an Heavenly Parent is always with us to really help us if we have really that determination and courage within ourselves to really fulfill that dream of our mother, that all of us as blessed central families to become Cheonbo families. So I am truly grateful once again for all the couples who give their best testimonies that help us also to or give us inspirations as challengers to really determine ourselves to become Cheonbo couples also. So I think that's all that I can share tonight. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
thank you so much to our Cheonbo challenger, our Belia Degdigan. Yeah, we know you can do it. Yeah. Every one of us have to break through. Nothing is said to be impossible. Everything is possible because of us. Jew. So with that, we would like also to invite our Vice President, Reverend Ronnie Sudosta, our President also from IAYSP, to give his comments and words of inspiration based on these testimonies. So let's welcome our Reverend Ronnie Sudosta. And wife, good evening.
Hello. Aju. Good evening to our most loving Heavenly Parents and our victorious True Parents, the Hyojinim, Hongjinim, Good evening, President Hori, Dr. Kittel, Mrs. Kittel, and everyone. Good evening. Today plus one. Okay, last time po, I presented to you my wife, but today I would want to share to everyone our youngest, Hiraya Hanul. Yan po, si Hiraya Manawari. Today is her 103rd day. You know, part of our tradition is the 103rd day. So she successfully conquered life in the womb, also the cesarean, and then now that's her, Hiraya Hanul. Ayan po. Okay. She's a girl. Yan po. Hiraya is a Tagalog term which means hope, and then Hanul is heaven given by President Hori. So her meaning is God's hope. So we pray that she can fulfill her purpose in life when she know God's hope. That one po. With this kind of meaning. And yeah, 103rd day. Thank you so much. Yay! Okay. Yan po. And so today, I'll be sharing my comment to the testimonies of our Cheonbo victors. First, Gregorio family, si ano po, Pastor John Rodbert and si Cathy. I was born in the church 2005. Same with Cathy, and I felt like we belong in the same generation. We are self-help generation po. We were born in the church in the time of the World Cup self-help, and I am so proud that they really become Cheonbo. Just a short background to everyone. During my COVID time, nung nagdideliryo na po ako at nangangamba, that I was so nervous that I might go to the spirit world. Pastor John Rodbert is one of the first person I reached out when I strongly felt the vision to start the Cheonbo. And tama po yung sinabi, what Pastor Rodbert said a while ago was really true. A Cheonbo helping other Cheonbo. And I am so inspired having this kind of support system. Maybe when I am doing it all alone, I was so afraid at the time. Same with Sir Brian. I had a question, how, what to start, where to go, kanino ba ako kakapit, you know? And those were the same questions that I had in the middle of COVID. And I would like to say thank you to Cathy and also Pastor Rodbert for really becoming one of my foundations po and my strength, source of strength and the possibility to fulfill the Cheonbo. Thank you so much. And we can see how they really offer their life in the front line. And I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Pastor John Rodbert. We do not have many opportunity to say thank you, but let me take this opportunity to say thank you to you for receiving my hand when I needed help, when everything is blank, when everything is, I do not know how to fulfill, without money, without everything. So thank you so much, Pastor John Rodbert. Next, Tita Naomi and Tito Brian, I was so surprised that Tito Brian's already 50 something. You know, from our meeting with PhilJap, I thought you are like around 41, 42, 43, those kind of age. And I was so shocked. Thank you so much po. I was so inspired, you know, when I listen to this kind of testimonies, Pastor John Rodbert, and then your testimony po, these are like hidden gems. Your hard work of investment in Madagascar is something that I am so inspired po when I get to hear this testimony, that how you put heaven first and how you sacrifice yourself to send your children to Korea. You know, we know it's not easy. It takes a crazy parents for heavenly parents, crazy parents for true parents providence to understand the providence of the importance of our children to learn Korean language, Korean culture, and be closer to true parents providence. And I applaud you for that one po. Many times you really miss your daughter, your son, but you choose to send them to the homeland that they may understand the Shinjong, the deepest Shinjong of our true mother, of our true father. Thank you so much po. You know, this kind of testimonies, really something we should, I hope and I dream po, Ninong Jimmy, if we can put everything in a book for our future generations to read, these testimonies of becoming missionaries and still fulfilling the Cheonbo, testimonies of she smiled at me. I cannot cry. I really want to cry, but my daughter is smiling at me po. Pastor John Robert, you know, these are people who's really impossible to fulfill Cheonbo, impossible to find money to liberate ancestors, impossible to find money to bless 430 horizontal, but they did it. So for the challengers, for the challengers, nothing is impossible if you give your heart. I think there's really a need for the first determination when you set everything that no matter what comes in the way and you determine to really fulfill your portion of responsibility for heavenly parents and for true parents, everything will conspire. So thank you so much for inspiring us. Tita Abelia, God will make a way po talaga. I can testify to that one. Even I myself, we do not have money, my wife and I. But for all the challengers here in this Cheonbo, do not give up in believing. Because all of us, those who fulfill, we do not have enough money, but we have enough faith to believe that heaven will guide us. We do not have enough manpower, resource, but we know that heavenly parents will prepare the right person to help us in our Cheonbo because heavenly parents plan. So according to the Bible, you know, God has a purpose and He will do it. He has plan and He will do it. We believe Cheonbo is really the plan of God. Surely He will fulfill this one. But it takes people of courage, people of determination, people of faith, and people of 0.1%. That one, people of 0.1% to really take that leap of faith and promise heaven that no matter what, we will fulfill this one. We can see that those who became victorious Cheonbo is those who have this kind of faith po. So, according to your faith, let it be done unto you. According to your love for heavenly parents and true parents, may we all be successful Cheonbo family. Once again, looking forward po to the books of Victorious Cheonbo. I hope we can put this into the books that everyone can be more inspired. Those who became missionaries, those who have nothing, but unite with true mother and become victorious. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. We love you from our family and my wife. You want to add something? Aju. Thank you po from our family. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the family of our Reverend Ronnie Sodosta. Congratulations, Arnold, for the 103rd birthday. Wow, 103 day. Wow, amazing. Congratulations. And yeah, challenge to really create.
Tama po, Ninong. Sana po umabot ng 103 birthday. Thank you po.
We look forward to create that book of Cheonbo Heavenly Treasures. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. So with that, again, let us give our appreciation and congratulations to Hano. Thank you. God bless you. And now, brothers and sisters, I think we are all set. We are all ready because you know, every time we have our meeting, we look forward to listen to His precious words because it's really great. Give us so much wisdom to understand more and come closer to our Heavenly Parent and our true parents. So, Cheonbo families, Cheonbo victors and challengers, let us all welcome. Please help me to welcome our Regional President of Asia Pacific 2. Let's welcome our President, Mr. Iti Fudi, for his special message. Let's give him our virtual clap.
Good evening, brothers and sisters.
Good evening. Good evening.
All Cheonbo victors families and Cheonbo challenger families. In last week, there was a huge eruption in Tonga. I reported to mother about this great eruption of Tonga. Actually, the all electricity is damaged, so telephone and internet, Facebook, all communication too were down. So it's a midst of the ocean, so no way to contact. So we shall pray and wait for a while. So I have experienced the big earthquake twice. So that Tonga is one of the island, and also the Philippines. The Philippines also the earthquake comes. Japan too. So all we share the natural disaster, earthquake, volcano, such things, and tsunamis. So exactly 27 years ago today, there was a big earthquake in city of Kobe in Japan. At that time, my parents were in charge of Kobe. So that earthquake directly hit all cities, and there was a huge, the famous Buddhist temple beside of our church. So usually that the temple little bit persecuted us, but at that day the temple was collapsed, and Buddhist monk has passed away, who little bit persecuted us and passed away, and even the ground was cracked, and such crack was divided into two, and then in front of our church, so the church building was safe. So that just across the across the street, the much more huge, bigger temple's building was just crushed. So yeah, that was 27 years ago. And also in March 11, another earthquake. 11 years ago, there was a great earthquake in the Kobe is West Japan, the nearby Osaka city. But this time, the East Japan great earthquake, it was 11 years ago. And also after that, the old tsunami covered up the old port in East Japan, and also the the more severe disaster was the electric power plant by it's like Fukushima power plant. So the truly at that moment, that was a life or death situation in Japan. So I can imagine now the kingdom of Tonga is entirely still yeah, I think it is still confusing now. And both has caused catastrophic damage to the town. So I think it's the same thing as Tonga. But I'm curious. All the scholars always explain those big disaster as this is the once in the 1,000 years. So already we have in Japan we have the two times in a two times of a great great earthquake. It's a once in 1,000 years, and this time also, and the Tonga's eruption also scholars said once in 1,000 years. So why it's so many one big disaster in once in 1,000 years? It's like for me, I felt this is in Bible, I'm not I don't know the exact English expression, but if the descendant of Abraham cannot recognize Jesus as Messiah, even the stone will scream. Even the stone will testify that I remember such a verse. So I think this is the one of the warning from Earth. So even in providential point of view, not only for human being, the all things also waited so long that for true parents, the genuine perfected female, male and female in front of God and also in front of all things. So the human beings doesn't recognize them as Messiah and true parents. The true parents is much more greater meaning than Messiah. Messiah is need to save the people, but the true parents is the ancestor of all human beings. So that's much better. I mean, that's much more greater meaning. So yeah, without genuine ancestors, what will happen for all saved human beings? They may fall again because they have no standard, eternal standard. So just, yeah, they are happy just to be saved, cleanse all the sins, but I'm sure they involve again all the crimes, because the self-centeredness means no hyojeon toward heavenly parents, because no concept vertical relationship with heaven and also earth. So such people just wasting all natural resources, and yeah, it's just okay, threw away all the garbages around their homes. So the environmental getting worse. So I think yeah, this it seems like the indemnity just for Tonga, but actually this is a warning for all humankind, from the warning of all things. But yeah, but we wonder why in Tonga. Yeah. 27 years ago, yeah, I've thought all same way. Why Kobe? Is the city is most because of the city is most, I mean, like Sodom and Gomorrah. But true father actually said to my mother when she attended the workshop in women's workshop in Stingley, Victoria. Two fathers said the Kobe in Chinese character, this is the door of God. In Chinese character, Kobe, Ko is God, and Be means it's a door. So true father said God now entered to Japan, but a little bit noisy. So my mother understood this is some great condition to for Japan. And also 11 years ago, there was a huge earthquake. So all Japanese wondered why such a, I mean, that area is very local. I mean, and also people are very traditional, and I mean, very pure. So yeah, all Japanese wonder why such a, I mean, pure people sacrificed, became, passed away. But but gradually I understood the pure people that is it's good to be sacrificed. So the Jesus Christ is the best, the best person to be sacrificed. So that's why the meaning of crucifixion is he was totally pure, no sin at all. But because of the sinner, instead of them, he became a sacrifice. So it works. So even the animals in the Bible, Jewish people should offer the pure, I mean the pure animals, no scarlet. So the good, we should offer good one, good good animals. So the reason why God took Abel's offering and doesn't take Cain's offering, according to the Jewish, I mean, like a legend. Actually, Cain did not choose the best one, and Abel picked the best one and then offered. So not because of Cain and Abel. Actually, God took the best one. So it is, So when I heard this story, it's likely more, it is more realistic. I mean, it all happens. I mean, always Cain type people always complaining why God doesn't choose my offering. But actually, he couldn't pick the best one. So I'm turning back to the main line of the story. I mean, I think the people of Tonga is the most purest people in the world. So, and also the Tonga is the one of that area is most beautiful nature. So I mean, to warn all the people, who pays indemnity. I mean, I want to say in this, who pays the indemnity? Most purest one. Two father used to, I mean, even scolded and even hit the leaders among all participants. When he, I mean, upset, always he picked the top leaders and he scolded and even hit the person. But I mean, the top leader is always represent everybody, and yeah, and somebody regards that leader is a little bit sinful person, but actually he represents all. So I feel from the sacrifice of Tonga, again, we try to I mean, get more providential progress from this disaster. So it's a great indemnity conditions. So we shall. I actually I want to start asking all of you to gather support money and also I'm sure to mother I'm sure to mother will give some support for Tonga. So put together. So I want to increase. So our putting our support into the Two Mothers Fund, and then make much bigger fund, and then I want to help. I want to support Tonga's people. Yeah. So now it's still such a eruption. It continues. So please let us pray for Tonga. And today, but that today also there's two great testimonies, and also the congratulations for 103 days for our Hanu, and I think it's first time to say hello to directly our cute baby Hanu and Mrs. Sodusta. So yeah, she's a strong baby who has already overcome Corona twice. So I'm very appreciate John and Kathy Gregorio family. The picture of two of the two of them when they are young were very cute. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was very difficult to establish the able crown. But I'm very proud of you. So that couple leaders of the generation younger than me. So almost 20 years younger than me. So it's another, I mean, the next generation. So so we need more leaders of age like them in the future. So, but although they're young, but it is very that they are very reliable because they firmly inherit the core of very important traditions. So they're very humble and very keep the I mean they keep their hyojong mind in their mission work. So it is wonderful testimonies. It was wonderful testimonies. Also, they have lived as full-time members. So there's no financial elements to win Cheonbo in the beginning, but they still prioritizing public activities based on their strong determination, and one by one they sums up their victories. So I'm really happy to hear that. So, and also like everyone, I also really like the Gregorio HTM strategies. So this is a great equation of success. Thank you very much. And also, yeah, good evening, Brian and Naomi-san. Yeah, the Brian, Brian, as he is today, he's very cool. I mean, nice looking. In Japanese, ikemen. Yeah. So in addition, not only nice looking, he's a, I mean, he's excellent. He has also the good, I mean, he's Brian the Brilliant. So yeah, it is unusually very rare for such nice person to keep his faith in their life. So yeah, so always Satan took the best one. So yeah, in my experience also there are lot of talented and I mean and good looking and yeah brilliant second gen was but I mean, the attacking Satan also knows that and attacked them and took them. So the reason why I'm surviving now is I'm not was not the best. So so I could survive because I keep my head low. So the all the bullets passed and above my head. So that's why I could survive. So so it's very difficult to survive such a, I mean, nice person to survive in this life of faith. So I'm very grateful for that. So, and also as a result, their children are also growing up brilliantly. So I thank God. So he showed us 8 reasons and elements. That's also a great PowerPoint. And also his wife, Naomi-san, is a senior missionary who has been in charge of Madagascar for many years. That also a great one, great testimony. Yeah. But actually she didn't say anything. But I think his wife, Naomi-san's role would have been very big. In most cases, the person, the lost words play an important, much more important role. So I think always the wordless person having a key. So I mean the tremendous support of his wife. I think he succeed. And thank you for the very practical and suggestions. The part of the time and money, about the time and money. That part is it was very interesting. I totally agree with 0.1% theory. Also, the story of finding John the Baptist is something that I attach great importance to. So, to finding the John the Baptist is very important. It's so essential to success, Cheonbo victory. Also, the use of the social network is also wonderful. And also, it was very easy to understand that the process was explained in chronological order. So I want this content to be broadcast on national television in future. How to be a Cheonbo family courses. yeah, today's testimonies, both of them are also so great. The many people very touched and also have a inspired. But after being impressed, I'm sure there are some people who think, oh, I cannot do, I can't do that in that way. I'm sure there are some people felt like that. But we need imagination. We need imagination. Like the song of Beatles, Imagine. Yeah. Someday in future, for Cheonbo challengers, once you succeed, you will be able to look back and organize in the same way, and also you pick up some lessons from your experience, and I'm sure you will be the great presenter as Cheonbo Victor. So we are walking on the same mountain trail. So yeah, you can definitely win if you do not give up and keep track of the trail. So yeah, yeah, still for many Cheonbo challengers, they are now all of you are truly in the one of the reality, the other side of the reality, the tougher one, not realized, not succeeded, yeah, not achieved yet. So it's the tougher one. So you will be there. So it's likely no way to escape, or just impossible is keep doing hard work, yeah, in such feeling, but one day you will achieve. I guarantee, because I was one of I was one of them. But yeah, without such a clear planning, I just determined myself that such a, for my case, I'm not so, brilliant for set the planning. I'm just, I just set the blind determination. Just believe in God. because God wants to succeed my my Cheonbo. So yeah. So the 0.1% determination. So I think the key to individual responsibility is to find turning point, your own turning point hidden in your life. So yeah, in our center figure of your church support you to determine your
Thank you so much again to our President Masaichi Huri for that very encouraging message to each every one of us. So as he said, let us keep challenging until we find our turning point. Wow, amazing. So there's no other way, but we have to move on. So that's why that's why this platform is very, very important for us to learn from each other, especially from our Cheonbo families who have succeeded or become victors, and guiding also our 43 couples, our Cheonbo challengers also, that they can also become successful as well. So again, let's give our appreciation to our President Masaichi Huri for that very precious words that he have shared with us again for this meeting. And we look forward for more guidances again for the next meeting that we're going to have. And we are very happy that this evening also we have been joined by some of our Cheonbo families from Asia, Pacific, even from Hong Kong, and also with husband and wife joining us this evening. Congratulations. Thank you so much for joining with us. We are really learning. We are one family, becoming closer to each other through this Cheonbo platform. So with that, I would like to call now our Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halug to give us for the closing remarks. So let's welcome our Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halug for the closing words. Let's give him our virtual clap.
Thank you very much, our Reverend Jimmy and our Ate Shirley. I would like to really express my gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and to all our leaders who have shared, especially our beloved regional president. Thank you so much, President Hori. To all our beloved Cheonbo victors and Cheonbo challengers, a pleasant evening to you all. Thank you so much for joining us again this Monday. Also from other nations, thank you very much for really participating and taking your time in this truly very important meeting every Monday. I'm sure every one of us are very excited. I think yesterday I joined the field job community also in their short program, and always they are being reminded with this our weekly Monday meeting for Cheonbo families. So I'm really sure that all of us are really excited to join this Monday meeting and really listen and really be inspired with all the testimonies of our Cheonbo victors. Yeah, so today we really learned many things again, and also especially with the guidance of President Hori. Thank you for explaining also to us the importance of or the significance of what had happened in Tonga. Maybe many of us are watching news. You were able to share to members also about the news in Tonga, but only now we could really understand the significance, maybe deeply, of this incident in Tonga. So now we could understand that always the most pure are really the ones that are really paying indemnity. And then we are grateful to our beloved brothers and sisters in Tonga. I was in Fiji also for 2 times. I visited Fiji because this is close to Tonga. And then somehow I could know the personality somehow or character also of people in these island nations. They are truly actually very pure because in Fiji also many from island nations are studying in one of the university in Fiji. So we could really see how pure they are, how they love nature, these people in Tonga. And then we learned that also the sun rise first in Tonga. They celebrate New Year first. So really, Heavenly Parent, the Heavenly Parent knows that with this calamity that happened in Tonga, still these people will not going to turn their back to Heavenly Parent, but still they will be more grateful because they are really pure people, and then they are like close to our Heavenly Parent. They are very close to nature. So that's why through Tonga's sacrifice, then President Hori mentioned that this year, also this time, we can have great providential advancement in the providence. So I think we really need to understand what had happened in Tonga, why in our region. So really, I'm really grateful, President Hori. Thank you for explaining to us all these things. Maybe in the Philippines, we could really also connect. In the Philippines, many also calamities are being experienced even last year. Also, I remember when I was 6 years old, there is a big earthquake in 1991 in the Philippines. And then that time when I was 6 years old, Baguio City is the center of that earthquake. And then just before the strong earthquake happened, me and my mother traveled to Pangasinan. So it's good we left Baguio City. So I realized today that God also saved my life. If I was in Baguio, then I don't know, because that time many people passed away and died in Baguio City. So in 1991, when that happened, before that incident happened, my mother and me, when I was 6 years old, we traveled to another area. So I could pass through. I was saved in that strong earthquake. So really, today it's very important, really, this guidance of President Hori. Thank you so much, President Hori, for explaining to us. So now we can find more value with all the challenges and difficulties that we are experiencing. Also the calamities that are coming sometimes, many times in our nation. Really, Filipinos also, despite the difficulties and challenges, they never turn their backs to Heavenly Parent. The more they become grateful actually with these challenges and difficulties. That's why Heavenly Parents knows that Filipino people also, or brothers and sisters in Tonga, in these pure nations, they will not going to turn their back to Heavenly Parent despite these difficulties. So like they are the right people to carry this indemnity for everybody to be benefited later on. So we are really grateful for your explanation, for your guidance today, President Hori. And also, thank you so much to Reverend John and Sister Kathy for their really wonderful and really very inspiring reflection, even though they are still young couple. We are actually very close in age. We joined almost the same time also. We're really grateful. for their dedication and faith and love to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. We really learn a lot. And also our Kuya Brian and Ate, his wife. We are really inspired actually with your presentation, kay Brian. As what President Hori said, it's good later on. It will be shown in TV. Yeah, many brothers and sisters can watch. I'm really sure that everyone will be motivated. And then the points that Brother John family and also Kuya Brian's family, the points that they have shared are really very, very important points. So President Hori emphasized really the turning point. So he mentioned that really determination, effort, and Jongsong is important, but it should reach certain turning point. So sometimes we are, we want to give all our passion, our determination, our effort, but most importantly, we have to reach certain turning point. Sometimes many people almost they are already reaching the turning point, but that's the time they give up. That's why President Hori said, as long as we never give up, one day for sure, all our Cheonbo challengers here, everyone is destined to become Cheonbo families. But the key, never give up. Keep determining and putting our effort and our Jongsong. One day, our own turning point will surely be reached. And then all of us will really become Cheonbo victors that Heavenly Parent and true parents can be proud of. So once again, thank you so much to our Heavenly Parent and true parents, President Hori, Dr. Julius also, Reverend Ronnie's family, thank you. Happy 103rd days to Hiraya Hanol, beautiful daughter of Heavenly Parent and true parents, and also to all our Cheonbo families, Cheonbo victors and Cheonbo challengers. Let's really unite completely and really will all be victorious. This is really the heart and the wish of Heavenly Parent and true parents. So once again, thank you very much, and see you again next week. And let's really bring greater success also this week for Heavenly Parent and true parents. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much to our Reverend Dr. Leong Halog for that closing words. So that was the overall conclusion of our meeting. But before we have our announcement, I would like to recognize Dr. Robert Esquito is with us. So let's say our hi to Dr. Kito. Thank you for joining with us for this evening. Together with their grandchild. Wow. Hello. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we finally close our meeting, we have some one announcement that is very important because we have upcoming next batch of our HGLTP. I would like to ask our National Secretary. Yeah.
Hi, me.
Dr. Tito, yes, please go ahead.
Just one point. I missed the beginning point of this, so I'm sorry. Thank you. I heard most of President Hori's really amazing insight. Thank you, President Hori. I'm wondering, did somebody mention Archbishop Vea? President Hori had worked with us to set up the PCLC program to look for John the Baptist. And in Australia, one archbishop from the Eastern Orthodox Church had a vision of True Mother. And he is from Tonga. So I think, again, this connection there of the purity of the people and the sacrifice that is being made for heaven's providence to advance. I think, I don't know if you've all heard the story, but he's from Australia, but he is originally from Tonga. And he had a vision of True Mother. They called him. He had never attended any of our meetings before, never heard a Divine Principle workshop, but they called him and invited him to go to Korea. This was originally for the December 5th meeting, the 1 million prayer rally. And his response was, "My bags are already packed." It's amazing, amazing. I mean, we called him to invite him. We've never spoken to him before. And he said, my bags are packed because he had a vision or a dream of True Mother. And then he came to the headquarters in Sydney. And when he saw the picture of True Mother, he said, "That's the lady that was in my dream. That is, that." And then he went up and kissed the picture of True Mother. So again, the connection of finding John the Baptist, and I think some connection is there. The purity, what President Hori talks about of the people of Tonga, I think is there. Although I've never been to Tonga, but this type of pure heart was kind of, as again, another testimony. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our 21 President, Dr. Quito. Yeah, let's pray for the safety of our brothers and sisters, especially the whole nation of Tonga for this very, very important moment at this time. So with that, I would like to have a short announcement. This is one announcement. Rose, can you flash the announcement? So this announcement is about our upcoming our upcoming another 12-day HGLTP. This is already our 8th batch for all our HGLTP educators. So that will be on January 25 to February 5, 2022. As usual, this is from 7 to 9 p.m. It's a virtual workshop with a registration of 300 pesos. So please contact and for more information with our National Secretary of HTM, Mayor Rose Tormes, and also our HTM Secretary for Education, Ms. Gina. So please coordinate with them. This is very important education again for our HTM educators to help us to manage our 430 couples, especially we are working and so many things to do so that we can update ourselves on the progress, especially now on the database for this year 2022 from our headquarters so that we can properly report our activities and the records of our HTM. So thank you so much for that. And then, we would like also to ask for everyone, especially to please let's continue to pray for Tonga and also our Cheonbo families have been affected also with this corona virus. And let's pray for a quick recovery because many brothers and sisters, not only in the Philippines, but also in other countries, especially in our region of Asia Pacific too, that they can quickly recover from their health. So with that, we would like to conclude our meeting with the closing prayer of our Cheonbo Honorable Lazario Yumiko Teves. So let's call on our Honorable June to lead us in the closing prayer.
Let's pray. Good evening, our loving Heavenly Parents, beloved true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. How wonderful knowing that our God is our parents, the origin, the one who created the heaven and earth. How wonderful that because of this, we understand the life and we educate in a way for us to know also our true parents. I know that is a very great guide, a compass to us for it's in everyone. This is a good start and a good for us in a way that we can walk a path towards the goal of becoming a Cheonbo victors. I know that we have difficulties, suffering, pain, and problems. But I'm sure, I know, I believe that our true parents suffer more than us. Our true parents think every one of us always thinking for the greatness of each and every one of us, always thinking for the success. That's why we are not alone. We are always together with God and our true parents. That is our strength. And I know that our strength is our brothers and sisters, our family, husband and wife, our friends that surrounds us, and the Cheonbo victors and all the Cheonbo challenger. That is the reason. That's why we have a strength to go on in strength in these difficulties, this pandemic. We have a determination to make our best. Once again, we invite you, Divine Presence, to be with us. I thank you so much for this day. In my name, Nazario Tibis Jr., together with my family, Central Bis family, Adyo, Adyo, Amen.
Adju, Adju. Thank you so much, our Honorable John Nazario Teves, for the closing prayer. So with that, before we finally conclude our 40th meeting, so this is very historical, the separation from Satan is a very important meeting again. So let us express our gratitude to everyone, to all our Cheonbo families, Cheonbo victors and challengers, and all our blessed families, brothers and sisters joining with us in this platform. So let's greet each other and say thank you so much to our President Masaichi Puri, to Dr. and Mrs. Quito, to all our vice presidents, Reverend Dr. Julius Maligdem, Reverend Ronnie Susta, with all our national leader, Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, and to all our Cheonbo families, Cheonbo victors and challengers, and sisters, thank you so much. So let's have our group picture taking. This is a very historical 40 days meeting for all of us. I'd like to ask our National Secretary, Rose Tormes, to please lead us in the group picture taking.
Okay, thank you so much po, Reverend Jaime Vergara and Mrs. Shirley Vergara. So now let's take a picture and saying Abuji.
Your camera.
Okay, second homonym.
Harmony.
Next. Okay, heart. Next, Saranghayo, True Mother. Baragi Sinang.
Vision 2027. So that concludes our meeting for today, January 17, 2022. So we look forward to hear the testimony of our national leader of our Philippines, Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, and our Archbishop Elias T. Soria for next meeting. So congratulations again to everyone, and stay safe and good night. Thank you so much for joining.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good night, everything.
Thank you.